Hey, what's up, guys? Before we get into this week's episode, I'm going to fill you in on some upcoming releases. On Wednesday, January 1st, we're going to be releasing another 55-second video on our Instagram, at 55 Studios. Be sure to like and drop a comment and DM us if you're interested in working with us. On Thursday, January 2nd, Jacob on his main channel is going to be releasing a little update to what he's been doing. Actually, the first video in 9 months he's going to be releasing. So be on the lookout for that. Happy New Year's, happy holidays, and enjoy the episode.
Houston, we've had a problem.
What's up, fuckers? Welcome back to the podcast.
What an intro.
Is that too much?
No. I think that's perfect.
No, it was good. It was good.
All right.
So, today is one of the days in December. It's rather late December. I will not give a specific date. We are still in an undisclosed location.
Undisclosed location.
Undisclosed for sure.
Just don't look at my Instagram.
Yep.
Basically, what had happened was we got a little caught up in stuff. And so last podcast, we said we were going to start filming for a short film on the 26th of December. I don't know if we gave a date, but that was the date.
Yeah.
No,
I don't think we ever.
Yeah.
It was the date we said, but I don't think we ever actually told the people what it was. But that was the day that we set for ourselves. And
Let's just say it's after the 26th. We have not begun filming.
we don't even have.
Script's not done. Yeah.
We don't even have the cast
Yeah.
done either. So.
We have locations.
Location.
We have location.
Well, I guess two.
We have a
if you count
couple.
outside.
A couple. Yeah.
So there's like a house, and there's outside. If you want to count those two locations.
Yeah,
We
we'll
failed
get
again.
the cast. We'll get everything going.
We failed ourselves. We played ourselves.
We will have
Phil,
a short
boys.
film out. Hopefully sometime next year.
Early next year. We'll say early next year. Before March.
Hopefully.
Before March. Just trust me.
Reckon.
I reckon. It's been a week. We're back now. It's been technically like 2 weeks, huh? Since last podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the time it's posted, it's been 2 weeks since the last one because we took the
That's
week
crazy.
off for
I know,
Christmas.
right?
It's like we just uploaded it.
Yeah.
What's changed? I guess. Castle and me got a haircut. I guess. If
You
that
guys
counts.
got haircuts,
Show,
but you're still wearing
show
the
the show the audience. Come on. Hey,
Does it look good?
Jimmy
I've had it in
Hoffa.
You look like Jimmy Hoffa.
You do look like
I've
Jimmy
had it
Hoffa.
in a beanie all day.
Yeah.
I'll let it breathe a little.
Yeah.
I got a haircut.
It looks good though. I didn't get a haircut
No, but you're so
because
sexy.
I got one before the last podcast, so I'm just chilling, waiting for it to grow out a little more and have money to get a haircut. There's that as
Because
well,
they're dumb expensive for no reason. It's like, shoot.
Yeah.
How much does your guy charge you?
Well, I usually, 35, but
35.
I get it for
Even
30 because
35
I'm
is a
a
lot.
friend
A friend, yeah.
of the Galindo's family.
Oh, really?
Shout out Galindo's.
Shout out Galindo.
That's pretty cool.
Hey,
I
the
mean,
first small business shout out of the podcast.
Mine's like $20 because I just go to Sports Clips.
Same, yeah.
I know Castle talks shit on Sports Clips, but they go hard.
No, it's not that I talk shit about them. It's just they can't do what I want with my hair.
I guess they're limited in the very specific needs of specific customers.
Even with the guy I went to last time, I should have told him to go a little heavier on the fade. But anyways.
So you wanted like a bigger ratio between the top of your head and the side of your head?
Well, it's just like, it's way too long on the sides.
Fair enough.
He went safe with it, and don't get me wrong, good for him playing it safe, but I'll let him have it. I'll let him have his way with it next time.
This one.
Are you going to go back soon and get it?
Yeah, and he
Touched
get
up?
edge up.
Yeah. I'll go with you this time.
You know what? I'll go with you this time.
Fuck it.
Fuck it. We ball.
Make it an outing.
Fuck it.
We ball.
We ball.
You can't see her, but Chrissy's actually behind the camera. She's actually manning all this shit.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to go ahead and...
Just to make sure that we don't have technical difficulties like we did last time.
I'm clipping this in to the podcast. First person POV. Okay.
Oh, gets rid of the whole undisclosed location thing now.
Shit. Okay, I'm going to try again. Very...
Zoomed in.
Hold on. There we go.
Move the camera so
There we
fast they can't really be able to make anything out.
Well.
That's great.
Okay, you got that one fixed. It's fixed.
What else happened? I guess Christmas happened.
Christmas.
Well, yeah,
did
that
happen.
the main holiday.
The main
of the
holiday,
year.
yeah.
That happened.
Oh, Yuletide bringings.
What'd you do for Christmas, Patrick?
Genuinely, I sat at home. Well, for Christmas, I got my gaming PC, which I'm now using as basically my editing thing. Oh yeah, I've started editing. I've started
You got himself a computer.
I got myself a computer, one that actually works and can render things, and it renders really well. I'm really happy with what it is, and I've already edited a couple of things, so I'm really happy. But Christmas was mainly trying to get that bitch set up because the whole time.
Yeah, you spent like all day setting it up.
Yeah, you know what the problem was? We were
What?
plugging the HDMI cord into the wrong port.
Patrick.
Well,
Was it a port that looked like an HDMI port?
no, it had a thing. It had one of those plugs in it to make sure shit couldn't get into it,
Oh.
like dust and stuff like that. But
Mine has the same thing. It took me a minute to figure out which was the actual right port.
I felt very stupid afterwards, needless to say.
No, it's cool. I mean, I
like
don't know
that?
anything about computers, and I own one, so it's an issue.
Castle, what'd you do for Christmas?
I hung out with my family. You know, the classic Christmas doings.
You were kind of lucky though. You got to open like most of your presents day, like Christmas Eve, right?
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Why?
Yeah.
I wanted to wait till Christmas.
Why'd you open them on Christmas Eve?
Because Kelly was supposed to work a double, and then she ended up not even working a double. She came home like 5, which is when we opened them anyway, so it's like, fuck. We
You
should've
usually
just
open them in the
waited
evening?
at that point.
They usually open them on Christmas.
Well, I usually open them on Christmas morning, but we were going to wait until the evening Christmas Day, but it turns out she had to work a double. Well, she thought she was going to have to work a double, so we couldn't do it Christmas Day, so we did it Christmas Eve, but turns out we could have done it Christmas Day, because we did it at like 6 o'clock on Christmas Eve, so it's like, fuck. what?
Damn, that sucks. Poor guy.
It's all good, though, you know, it was fun.
Speaking of off-putting, not off-putting, but like off-timed Christmas, I have a coworker. They still haven't had their Christmas.
Really?
Yeah, it's gonna be like the 8th
Why?
because he's had a lot of family problems, like not problems, but like health issues and stuff like that. Like his grandfather's not doing great, but yeah, they've had to push back like their Christmas for like the 3rd time. It's
That
awful.
sucks.
Yeah, that's awful.
That sucks. That sucks a lot.
What'd you do, bud?
Honestly, I just we stayed at the house. We woke up around like 9:30, and we all opened presents and shit. It's actually where the lighting came from.
Yeah.
My dad bought me some lighting, and then Ethan came down, which is super cool. Ethan and Lauren, so they were here for Christmas. That's actually where I got this shirt. She made us all customized, homemade tie-dye shirts.
It's clean. It's a very nice shirt.
Yeah, it's weirdly vibrant and this was her first time ever trying to make these. First attempt.
I love tie-dye so much.
Yeah, so I'm gonna wear this until it fades, and then have to retire it once again, like my last one. But other than that, it was really good. Ethan and I talked more about the NBA podcast that we're gonna do.
Heck yeah.
So I think we're gonna try to post the first episode by next Sunday. So if
Next
this is going up
Sunday.
on Tuesday, it's the Sunday after this podcast goes up. It should be up.
Heck yeah.
Hell
And that's all basketball.
All
Everything
basketball related. If you're a basketball fan at all, then join us in listening to this podcast, because we don't know everything, but we try to take as much knowledge as we can.
Yeah.
So that's what that's about. And then actually, I have yet to tell you guys, so you guys are finding this out on the podcast. Wait, I might have told you. Ethan and Chrissy and Lauren are going to start a true crime podcast.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
And so they
I'm
want us
100% down for that.
So we're turning
I
into
love
like a whole Studio 55 podcast network. So we got this podcast, we got the NBA podcast, and then we also have
a true crime podcast.
the True Crime podcast hosted by Chrissy and Lauren.
Y'all should do John Benet Ramsey.
Oh yeah, you
It's
gotta
one
find
of
a
my
bunch of
favorite
cool
cases.
names.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at that point, me and Cass might as well just make a music podcast.
Fuck it.
You want to make a music podcast? Fuck it, we ball.
I'm
Go
down,
for it.
bro.
I'll-
Fuck
I'll-
with ball.
I'll produce it for you guys. I'll sit at that desk. You guys can.
You can do
like
all
a
the
talk
camera
show.
work for us.
Hell yeah. I'll adjust the audio
Just
levels.
make like 19 podcasts.
Yeah. Fuck. I should have named, instead of it just being uploaded by Studio 55, I should have done uploaded by Studio 55 Podcast Network. So it sounds so official.
What are y'all drinking on today, boys? What y'all got in those Starbucks cups?
I think we got me and Jacob are rocking the same thing. What is it, Jake?
So it's a regular cappuccino, obviously venti, largest size. But so it's a cappuccino, but you take out the 2% milk and replace it with sweet cream, and it gives this perfect taste of sweetness and bitterness. It's pretty great. I love it. And it's what I've been drinking ever since I got fed up of the mocha frappuccino.
Yeah, I'm making that slow because that's usually what
It just plateaued for me, and then started doing a decline in terms of taste. And I was like, okay, this is my time. I gotta find a new drink.
How about you, bud? What you drinking on?
Blonde Americano. The
Just
best drink
funnily
Just
enough,
straight up.
ever created.
Me and Cass found out that what is it? Target?
The Starbucks and Target doesn't do blonde.
Yeah, they don't.
Anything.
No.
Like
Just
anything?
dumb. Because I'm a light roast kind of guy.
The same thing
I
at
enjoy
the
a nice
Kroger.
light roast.
At the Kroger in town, they don't do blonde either.
There's a Starbucks in Kroger.
Yeah, the new one.
Son, I've been in there once.
Yeah, it's on the left side. Like, no one listening to this probably gives a shit.
Okay, do we want to talk about the coffee?
It's up to you.
I'm down.
It's your
I'm
business
down to talk
idea,
about
so
coffee.
fucking down, bro.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
I'm a avid coffee drinker. We're all avid coffee drinkers. Love a nice fucking brew, boys.
Nice brew, bud.
Nice
Get this
cup
man
of
puppers.
Joe. Fuck.
I've been drinking coffee every day
But,
since junior year.
I started experimenting, and it was one night. Me and Patrick were doing. We were just chilling, smoking a couple stogs,
Yeah.
and he had the idea. One second. Drop my pen. He had the idea to. Well, I mean, it was just kind of spur of the moment. He was like, "Oh, you should start a coffee brand," and we talked about it for a minute, and then kind of like disregarded it and moved on to something else. But I reckon I got home that night, and I have this Starbucks French roast, very dark roast. I mean, smoky as all hell. And then I got some Starbucks Veranda, very light roast, blonde roast. It's very just subtle, little nutmeg in there. But basically, I combined the two in about a 70-30 mix, 70% light, 30% dark, because this is a very dark. Made a nice medium blend. Reckon that's a pretty gosh darn good cup of coffee.
It was a great cup of coffee.
So what I'm thinking is we roast our own beans. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna roast my own beans. I'll make a nice medium blend. We'll do other, but the first batch for, as far as it goes, is gonna be a medium blend.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna release that in whole bean and ground to the public, because coffee.
Coffee. And we're going to brand it as our own Studio 55 coffee. It's not.
Well, it's not going to be called Studio 55 Coffee.
No,
It's
no.
going to have a different name.
Well, no, but it will be Studio 55's coffee brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What idea did you have for the name? Or what was the final idea that we talked about? I forget.
Steamboat Brewhouse.
Steamboat Brewhouse.
Steamboat Brewhouse.
Brewhouse from Castle, Steamboat for myself.
Well, then what the fuck am I?
You edit the coffee.
Okay. The coffee editor. Okay.
Editor-in-chief. Yeah, that's it. We're gonna be on the lookout for some fucking coffee.
Yeah. We have a lot of cool things.
Get so fucking hostile with them.
Sorry, y'all are great people. Thank you for listening to the podcast.
Yeah, shout out to everyone who has said all the kind things and everything about the podcast so far. We really appreciate it.
We're really just three fucking white men chilling in an undisclosed location, speaking into microphones. And there's people that actually listen. That's the wildest thing about it.
And it might not be a big audience, but we do appreciate it.
It's just the fact that
nonetheless.
people actually listen to us talk.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck.
Even though it's people that we know, whenever they come and tell us how much they love the podcast, it's kind of cool. It definitely makes us feel good. We don't feel like celebrities or anything because it's people that we know, but it's nice that they're taking time out of their day to actually listen to something that we did.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
even say interesting things half the time. Like 90% of the time, I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
I feel like it's just our normal bullshitting, but I guess some of it somewhat is entertaining.
Yeah.
In the comments below, if you're watching this on YouTube, you should. Because we were talking about kind of converting it into more of a talk show rather than a podcast. Because we already got the cameras going, nice lighting. We got a little plant. I mean, fuck off. We got a plant. Come on,
I've got a plant. Got the old fern.
a candle.
Yeah.
Talk show.
Eventually,
Let us
yeah,
know.
it'd be cool to have just like not like a short, like, it's not like a Good Mythical Morning type thing, which is, love you guys.
Yeah, shout out.
Love Rhett and Link. But it'd be more of like a way extended version, it like a really long fucking game show.
Yeah. I think
Something like
I
that.
think that would be cool, and I think like in the next couple episodes or something, we should do like maybe like a Q&A or something.
That'd be cool. I actually, this is a good segue. I screenshotted, I went to this website, mantelligence.com.
Mantelligence.
Mantelligence.
Oh, that's fantastic, bud.
And I found I looked up fun topics to bring up in a conversation because we're having a conversation and we need topics. So the first one that I found, so I'm just going to go through. We're going to just lightning round.
Heard.
What's your favorite movie or show that most people haven't heard about that you've
Super
seen?
Dark Times. It's a little indie film on Netflix. I reckon that is about one of the best movies I've ever seen. Holy fuck.
What's it about?
It's about a murder, but it's more about the lives it affects, I guess. Because it's like these group of friends, and I don't want to spoil any of the plot, but one of them dies, and it's like a whole thing, and it's all secretive and whatnot. And let me tell you, it's a good movie. Great. I mean, it's super cinematic. Got a great storyline. Super dramatic. I love it. Good movie. I recommend it. It's on Netflix. Super Dark Times.
Bet. What about you?
I don't know. Come back to me. No, wrong person. Wrong person to come
Okay.
to right now.
Well, shit. I don't know either. I asked the question. I guess, and it's not that they're super well known now, but still most people that I talk to don't or haven't seen it. We talked about it in the first podcast, Trailer Park Boys. It's more popular now, but it's still underground, I feel like.
Still a little underground,
Yeah, if you haven't checked it out, 100% worth it. It's fantastic.
Fantastic.
Basically, it's about the main characters are these three guys that live in a trailer park, and it's them versus a trailer park supervisor, and all 11 seasons, 12 seasons?
I think it's up to 13
13
now.
seasons? Ooh, Jesus. It's basically just them fighting back and forth with him. Rest in peace to Mr. Leahy, by the
Mr.
way.
Leahy, rest in peace to
John
the man.
Dunsworth, good man.
Do you have yours?
Yes, I found one. I figured out one. So it's decently well known throughout the YouTube community. I feel like if you have big roots in the YouTube, like watching and everything. It's this show called Video Game High School. It was made by Rocket Jump.
I've seen that. I've watched it. Dude, it's so good.
It's so good. They did like a movie, and then that was like converted into like a first season. They then did a second season, and then a third.
Was
season.
it on Netflix?
It is on Netflix. Third season. I'm gonna be honest. You don't have to watch it. It gets really dark and just way too dark for that type of show. And then second season though, great. First season, great.
Yeah,
You should watch it.
definitely. I was actually just thinking about that like a couple weeks ago. Thinking, like, maybe I should check it out again.
Found
Okay,
it, man.
next question has nothing to do with the last question. So go
So
me
I
for
like it, yeah.
continuity. Who is your celebrity crush?
My
Just
celebrity
off
crush?
top of the head.
1994, Angelina Jolie.
Holy crap.
1990. Okay, specific.
Or Lady
I like
Gaga.
it. Patrick.
I have to look up her name, but it's specifically in that movie, the main chick from Split, the girl who gets held captive. Her name is Anya Taylor-Joy. Yeah, she peak. She's awesome. She's she's a great actress and just a very, very cute woman.
I feel like mine's very basic. It's Ariana Grande. Easy
Really?
Ariana Grande.
What's that one girl's name? I can't pronounce it. It's like sorority. She plays
I
Susie
know.
Salmon. And
She's
Lovely Bones.
also in the Grand Budapest.
she's also in the one with Margot Robbie. Or not Margot Robbie.
Lady Bird?
Well, yeah, no, Margot Robbie. No, the one about Queen Elizabeth.
Oh, I know. I think it's called like Elizabeth.
Queen of Scots.
Queen of Scots. There you go.
Or no, it's Mary Queen of Scots. Yeah, that's
She's
a
also in-
fantastic
she's in
movie. I
Lady
watched
Bird.
that in theaters.
If any of you,
I have not seen Lady Bird, but I've heard about it. It looks good.
Never seen
yeah,
it.
indie fuck boys, if you like any of that, Lady Bird goes.
But however you pronounce her name, love her.
Okay. Next question.
Heard.
If you were stranded on an island for eternity, name one book or CD you would need to have in your possession. So I guess,
Beastie Boys, check your head.
really,
Yeah.
that would have to be the one you listen to
The
for the rest of
CD,
your life.
fuck yeah, bud.
Can we do both book and?
No,
CD?
it has to be one or the other.
Oh, a good book though. I could fuck with it. No, Beastie Boys.
Actually, I feel like you get kind of tired of a book because you'd want to hear other human voices
yeah.
eventually because you're stuck on an island for the rest of your life. So I feel like you'd want to even have, sad as it may be, being voices from a band that is on a CD. I feel like that'd be better than actually having a book.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's intelligence in a
maybe you
book.
could get like the Bible or something.
Either
Shit.
either Sam's Town by the Killers or Let It Unfold You by Census Fail. Well, I cannot decide on which one, but those would be my top picks.
So I'm actually gonna go against the grain here. I'm gonna go with the book.
Ooh.
Completely contradict with what I just said, but My Side of the Mountain. I don't know who the the author is, but that book is fantastic.
My Side of the Mountain.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
really good. I actually have
What's
it
it about?
over there somewhere. It's this kid who ran away at a young age, and he just started living in a mountain. So like he had nothing. He took like a little bit in a backpack from what he got from his house, from his family, ran away, into the wilderness, and he just survived.
Yeah,
It's
no
really
disrespect to
fascinating.
the author or the story or anything. How the fuck did my man's make it all the way to a goddamn mountain?
Yeah. I
Well,
don't
he
know,
was
man.
living like it's almost like this isn't the actual place, but let's say you're living in like Colorado Springs. You're not that far from the wilderness.
Yeah, okay.
So he was like later in the books because they made continuations. I don't want to give too much away, but like
Swiss
his
Army
family,
Man.
yeah, his family ended up coming to visit him up in the mountains. Like they just had this agreement where it's like I guess you're gonna live your life, we're gonna live ours, but we'll love you. And so they visited him. He ends up like living in a tree or something, like a really big tree.
living in a
Yeah,
That's
super sick
fantastic.
book though. You should check it out. Okay, next question.
Will we do like 2 more?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is something that you got away with as a child that your family still doesn't know about?
Boy, I've got lists.
I see. I've been trying to think about that. I can't think
Son,
of
I
it.
could talk about this all day. Well, I'm trying to think of a good one, I reckon.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, crap.
I actually just told my mother I dropped a key lime pie when I was like 8. I had dropped it face down on the ground and I just threw it away, and I convinced my mother that the ghosts had stolen it. No, it wasn't the ghosts. It was her ex-girlfriend.
You convinced
Oh.
your mom?
She
Did that
literally
happen?
just found out that it was me like a week ago,
Oh my lord.
like 10 years later.
What you got anything, Jake?
It's basically there's this one plate of food that my mom was especially passionate about. And so she said I wasn't allowed to get up from the table until I ate it. But we had a dog at the
I
time.
hate that.
So I stuck my plate underneath the table, let the dog get out, and be like, and then I told her and how much I love the food and how great it was, and I complimented the fuck out of her. And she listens to the podcast, so I'm sorry, Mom.
I'm sorry, Bob.
I'm sorry. It's all out of love, though. I didn't want to just tell you that I didn't like it. What about you? What about you?
To be perfectly honest, I don't think I have one. I'm really honest with my
You've
family.
been a good boy?
Well, no, I'm just really honest with my family, so probably anything I've done, I've probably already told them about it.
Oh yeah, no, I tell my mother everything I do. She doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I feel like the absolute worst thing, though, would be, this is going to sound really bad, and I don't want to be judged for it. I was a dumb kid, didn't know how fucked up this really was. My grandfather, he was blind, and he would, we used to live in a neighborhood where it was, it was far enough from my bus stop that he had to, ride a lawnmower to me, because that's really the only thing he could drive as a blind man. And, one time, a friend on the bus was like, you should come over to my house and everything. And I was like, my grandfather's going to be there. I can't. And then my friend was like, you should just sneak past him. Deadass snuck past my grandfather, blind. My blind grandfather. I just, light footsteps. And he just, at one point, I never said anything. He just went home. And I showed up and he was like, where the hell were you? And I was like, the bus was late. I'm sorry.
Oh my.
Rest in peace, Pa.
Rest in peace. I saw your picture on the fridge. Patrick's house.
Was that one?
Yeah.
Oh, rest in peace.
Yeah, that's the old Italian of the family.
Wow, that's something right there.
I know, bro. I feel really bad about it now.
I can tell, you were telling the story. You were still eating yourself up inside about it.
Yeah,
Suppressed emotions that you just.
but on the real, he found out. He knew that I'm pretty sure he knew. He just wanted me to tell him, be that responsible adult. But
I feel that.
I can feel like
understand that.
vibrations and shit in the ground, man.
no.
Yeah, Josh's
grandpa.
Is it grandpa?
I think, or uncle.
Something like that.
One of those.
He was he's blind. He was so cool. He was I don't know what he was. Was he tapping his cane on the ground?
No, he didn't have
Or
a
he-
cane. He was just
No.
walking.
No, but he was doing something where he was feeling.
He
the
snaps a
vibrations.
lot.
Oh, he was snapping.
And
you could
kind of hits
feel
his pants, yeah.
Yeah, you can hear the echo around you, and it's crazy because if you're blind,
Echolocation, baby.
everything else enhances. So you're hearing and you're smelling. He could still.
And apparently he was a god on the piano.
He's a whiz on the piano.
Well, some people are there's this one guy, he had a YouTube channel. He was blind, but he had he could see, just he couldn't see at all. If there were to be a light go in front of him, he could probably see it.
Yeah.
He would notice the differentiation in the
Oh yeah.
And the shading and everything.
yeah, but he couldn't see anything. He was legally blind.
Yeah.
No, John Lennon was legally blind
Was it really?
without his glasses.
Fucking there's a YouTuber out there right now. Actually, it's a chick. Shane Dawson shot with her, the blind one.
Oh, she's cool.
Yeah, she's cool. Have you seen her?
Yeah.
Cass?
I have not. No, I don't.
She was also with
Dog
David
is the
Dobrik for.
cutest.
I love dogs.
She met up with David Dobrik too.
Yeah, she did, and they all
Double
roasted
A.
her ass.
Yeah, but she was cool with
Yeah,
it.
she really was cool about it. Good for her.
Yeah. If you accept the thing that you feel like would be the most, I guess, negative thing about yourself, you accept it and embrace it, then they can't hurt you.
Truth.
Here's another little quick question, just for shits and giggles. If you could remake any movie, which one would it be and why?
What movie would I remake?
Yeah. If there was a movie that is not one you necessarily hate or anything, but if there's something you'd want to change or like redo about it.
Double Indem and hold on. It's was made like in the early 1900s. Hold on. Double Indemnity. It was made in 1944. And the plot is fantastic. So it's this guy. I mean, it seems like your basic ass plot, but it's really fascinating because we watched it in my film class. This guy, the movie starts off. He's like bloody. You can tell he's like struggling to get upstairs, and he starts recording himself in this like old radio, and he tells a story of how he murdered someone for love. And so as he's telling the story, it was one of the first ever film noirs.
Yeah.
And as it's just like, as he's telling the story, I'm sure you can infer, the actual scenes are going on while he's telling it. It's really fascinating. It was just the acting for that time didn't really go. It was way ahead of its time. The acting just didn't go well with the actual plot.
It wasn't keeping up.
Yeah. So if they were also very racist, because the only person of color in that movie was the janitor at the very beginning.
Oh God.
The only person. And the only girl who had lines was the wife, and you could tell that there was a very clear power differential between the two.
It was the 40s. It was fun.
Yeah. So if it was remade up to today's standards with today's technology, I feel like it would be a fantastic movie. But yeah, that's my pick. 1944 Double Indemnity.
Castell.
Clerks 1.
Clerks 1.
I've
Why
never
is
seen
that?
that.
Because it's in black and white. I fucking hate black and white.
You do?
I would just
like
I
black
would
and
keep
white.
everything the same. Just shoot it in color.
That's interesting.
Aren't we gonna try and shoot like a 55-second
Yeah,
video
we're gonna
in black
shoot
and white?
I thought we were gonna do a whole short film in black and white.
I mean, I'm down.
Which I'm down to do. I love black and white, but it's like I hate black and white. Fuck.
It's interesting. That was my favorite part about this movie.
In the right context, I can do black and white. Like if it's like some old timey shit, maybe like some crime, murder, mystery type shit.
Yeah.
But Clerks is just such a boring movie, and then they just throw it in black and white. It's just like, how am I supposed to watch this?
Fair enough. I love black and white movies. I think it adds
I
to
do
it.
too. I think it really only works for like vintage movies.
Like that one episode of Black Mirror.
Oh,
The
that
black
one
and
with
white
like
one,
those like robo dogs.
Yes, that one was hard.
I didn't see that one. I don't think I saw that one.
Highly recommend it. It's really good. Yeah, it's so good. Black and white really adds to it.
Well, speaking of films, Robert Pattinson's low-key been making a comeback in his recent years.
Love that guy.
I don't know much about him, honestly.
He's doing a lot for like A24, that indie-ish studio that's making all those really like good hits. He was just in The Lighthouse, and he's about to be in Tenet, that new Christopher Nolan movie. Speaking of, that movie looks
It does
absolutely
look good.
sick. Yeah.
It looks absolutely
Oh, that looks really
just
good.
confusing as hell, but
Yeah.
I'm down for it.
It's
Most
like
Christopher
your, it's like Inception, where it's like you get it, but you're confused as fuck the
Yeah.
entire
Yeah.
time. Great movie.
Great movie.
I
Christopher
love
Nolan
Robert
makes
Pattinson,
great
though.
movies.
Yeah.
Robert Pattinson,
He
great.
said if Batman doesn't work out, he's got to turn to, I think it was, basically porn, yeah.
Really?
Being serious?
He's done. See, he's said the craziest shit.
Robert Pattinson?
Yeah, he said that he just doesn't give a shit about acting, doesn't give a shit about Batman. He just doesn't give a shit about anything.
Why does he
Jeez.
do it? Pays the job. I guess pays the bills, huh?
He's crazy, motherfucker.
It's like Harrison Ford, how the entire time he was Han Solo, he tried to convince the franchise to kill him off until he finally got his wish granted.
Yeah, he literally, even in The Force Awakens, he was still shitting on Star Wars.
Every interview, he's like, fuck, I just don't want to do it. It's just, So you'll love Indiana Jones, but you won't love Star Wars. Okay, whatever.
Indiana Jones was hard.
Indiana
They're hard,
Jones
but Star
does
Wars
go
was
hard.
harder.
They're supposed to make a new Indiana Jones here soon.
Are they really?
With Harrison
Shia
Ford?
LaBeouf. And I think Harrison Ford. Shia LaBeouf.
I don't want to see Shia LaBeouf as Indiana fucking Jones.
I would
wanna
be down to
Harrison
see
Ford.
Shia LaBeouf.
Low-key,
as
I'd be
Indiana
down to
Jones,
see
though.
it.
Shia LaBeouf is a
Low-key.
fantastic actor. He's so good.
I know we talked about in the last podcast, fellas, but
Shit, I know what you're about to say.
God damn it! Here we go. No.
Rise of Skywalker.
Okay, I guess we have to conclude this. This will be the last time we ever talk about Star Wars.
It's been a 3-parter. We were talking about it first, then we talked more about theories, and now we gotta talk about our fucking results. Okay, so little rundown. We've all seen The Rise of Skywalker. We all went and saw it on the same day, not with each other, sadly. Plans made it not able to do that, but we all gave our scores, all not drastically different. Theirs are pretty similar. Mine's the most drastic.
Mine has changed since I saw it.
Okay, then I give it a 7.5 out of 10.
Interesting.
Oh, all right. So the first night I saw it, it was a 9.5 out of 10. I thought it was a fantastic movie, but now due to continuity errors and things that they just kept adding in, which made no fucking sense, it's a good 8.
Yeah.
Mine's still a 9.5.
Maybe an 8.5.
I thought it was damn near a masterpiece.
It's my favorite out of the new trilogy for sure. But
100%.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's like top 3 that they've ever made for me. Top 3 Star Wars ever.
I can fuck with that.
Well,
I don't know about top 3, top 5 for sure, but
What were your big? Oh wait, I guess we shouldn't really talk about it.
oh,
Yeah,
it's
we'll
been out
say-
for like almost 9 days.
Yeah, we'll say from here on out, I'll clip it in the actual video that I'm editing in the actual podcast whenever we're done talking about it. But we should be able to talk about it.
Yeah, we won't talk about
spoilers
it long.
ahead.
We won't talk about it long. But okay, so what were your biggest problems with it, Cass?
The fact that they can just pass things through the Force, that was annoying.
Yeah.
The whole Ben Solo dying, sacrificing himself when he hadn't do it, like JJ brought up, he did it like he didn't do it through the entire movie, but there at the end he just gave himself and turned to a Force ghost. That was fucked.
Yeah.
Palpatine as a whole, fucked. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was cool that they brought him back, but it's like, oh my god, was he fucking powerful.
Dude, it was
Like, holy
It was like
shit, man.
God mode
scary because like
yeah.
you saw all those Star Destroyers lift up out of the ground, like
Yeah.
all with him using the Force. Like we've never seen anything like that in any movie.
Yeah, they just like really like J.J. Abrams, which I don't get me wrong, I can understand. Like the first movie was him, second movie was the other guy, fucking what was his name, Ryan Johnson.
Yeah.
And it's like Ryan Johnson did kind of fuck him over a little, or a lot, if you will. So he had to kind of like make up for all that. So he had to just start throwing shit in and to kind of finish it off. But it's like, fuck.
But one thing I will say,
but at the same time, and I'll just go ahead and give the reasons why I didn't necessarily care for it. A lot of what Castle said is basically how I feel as well, but it was mainly just the fact that, like, my man, if anything, they should have just let J.J. Abrams film all 3 movies.
100%.
Because it's clear, it's very fucking clear how much he tried to just stuff everything he was going to do with his trilogy into one movie. And it was cool, but yeah, the pacing was weird, really weird in my opinion. It was slow. It was just fast the entire time. There was no slowdown. And Star Wars, in my opinion, is known for its also slow moments. It's what builds the tension a little bit. But yeah, those are my main points. I also I really hated the end fight. Just the fact
loved it.
I loved it, man.
I'm sorry,
that
but
fight.
the fact that Emperor Palpatine just turned into dust that quickly when he was literally zapping ships back to back like 5 seconds ago.
Or maybe that just proves how strong Rey really is.
Or maybe,
Yeah.
yeah. And I mean, she also did have like all the Jedi flowing through her, so I can't really say much.
Yeah. My take of the movie, I'll start off by saying I never expected Rey to be a Palpatine. Never saw that coming until we found out in the
not a
movie.
chance.
So props to them for that, because it's usually with these things, it's super easy to predict.
Yeah.
Like Luke being you kind of just pick up on these things. So them throwing that out of left field, super cool. One issue that I had, and I actually whispered to Castle while the film was going on, but at the beginning of the film, whenever she's just floating and trying to communicate with the Force and Obi-Wan and Yoda through the Force, so she was able to just float around. Why didn't she do it whenever there was a whole scene about her trying to get to this get across the ocean to this, what was it?
The Death Star.
Yeah, the Death Star.
The Death Star. She was trying to get across the water to the Death Star. Why couldn't have she just floated up? There's a little continuity error there.
It's because I think you have to be in like such a state of mind or something.
Yeah.
You can't just start flying across.
Well,
man.
yeah, but I mean, like,
But
it
that's
just
the
seems
crap-
like, I don't know why you'd put that in because you're going to have fans that think that.
Yeah.
I feel like you have to do a better job explaining that rather than them having to be like, oh, I guess we can make it make sense if we think about it from this perspective.
That's the cool and shitty thing about Star Wars.
Yeah.
Is that there's such a big fan base and they are so involved in the story that they can literally... You can really just about make up an excuse for anything in those movies if it's a continuity error. But I do understand where you're coming from. Yeah.
I guess another takeaway, the reason why it's the top 3 for me is because, I don't know. It's a top 3 because you could hear all the voices from all the movies before, like all the powerful Jedi.
Mm.
Like you heard Mace Windu, you heard Anakin, you heard Yoda, you heard Obi-Wan. The only issue is I wish they would have actually shown those characters as the Force Ghost. That would have been hard. But the fact that they brought him in at all, it was really it reminded me of Endgame with Iron Man. You had all those guys that show up at the very end. Almost like shot for shot was exactly like Endgame at the end of it.
Do you want to know who all was in it? Because I actually read it. Like who all the voices are?
Yeah.
It's Obi-Wan, old, and it's Ewan McGregor and Alec Guinness. Qui-Gon, Mace Windu, Kanan from Rebels.
Wow.
Yeah, if you know who that is, the guy who goes blind and everything. Ahsoka was in there.
Ahsoka Tano, really?
Yeah, oh yeah. Yoda, which...
Yeah, you heard Yoda.
You definitely heard Yoda.
Anakin
was in there. Old and... No, not old, but new.
Yeah.
Who else was in
I wonder if they got him to come in just to record
Hayden
that.
Christensen?
I bet they did. I bet
Either
he came
that
in.
or they did what they did in the first film, which was basically just chop together things that come together to make it sound like he says Rey, and then they just did that. But knowing it's Hayden Christensen and it is Star Wars, like the biggest thing that made his career, basically.
The only thing that made his career.
Basically, yeah.
Except Jumper was pretty good, though.
Jumper
I liked it.
Was decent, yeah.
I think I liked it mostly just because it was Hayden Christensen.
I mean, it was a cool concept, literally teleporting at the
worst times. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's at least my takeaway from Star Wars. Solid movie. I liked it.
We are now done with Star Wars, and we'll not talk about it for another couple episodes.
Check it out. We got Elon Musk. She was saying that. The Elon Musk, I think this is a fantastic idea. I was kind of pondering it as we were talking.
Same.
The whole, like, underground highways for Teslas would be hard.
Yeah. I mean, like, and there could be, like, little, like...
Like, imagine just driving in a tunnel, you look over, or you're not even on the steering wheel, you're just sitting there.
Yeah, it's just people playing on their phones going through.
But imagine there's, like, a pileup. Or, like,
but there wouldn't be, because they're all... Because there's no person actually driving a vehicle in there.
Yes, but what about if the Tesla malfunctions?
But those are so rare that it's even more rare than human error. So it's like if they're just driving through a tunnel, and especially if it's like a Tesla-made tunnel, I doubt there's going to be any errors in there.
I could see that. And it could have like little like cave entrances to where it's like charging ports and like you can like, stay at night if it's like a big part of
that'd be hard, like a little like Tesla hotel.
Yeah,
it's like a Tesla
It's
oasis.
an underground city for Teslas.
Honestly, bro, that'd be sick.
Like little convenience store.
That'd be sick, actually.
Sick.
Charging station.
That's cool.
Stopping for some snacks.
It's like a Buc-ee's, but for Tesla.
Have a bar.
A Buc-ee's, but for Tesla.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of Tesla merchandise.
We'll start doing like special credit cards for the Tesla hotels.
You could get
Tesla
pulled over. You
What?
think you could get pulled? Like you could get a DUI for being wasted as shit, but having the Tesla on autopilot.
I think so.
I honestly don't
at some
know.
point
I mean,
do.
technically, yes, you are behind the wheel, but
I feel like
if you're not actually driving,
but is the autopilot like the whole time?
yeah, like from like say you're like you got drunk at the bar and you're on your way home.
It can literally you can just put in your address.
You put in your address and it just takes you there. You just sit in the passenger seat. So if you get pulled over, it's like, fuck, I ain't driving.
I feel like you're so responsible though at that point.
No, you do have to actually keep your one hand on the wheel, I think, when you're driving a Tesla on autopilot.
Nice.
Although I've seen people put oranges in between the steering wheel so it recognizes as a hand. It's fucking hilarious.
There's gonna
Keep
be
a Clementine in your car.
Think about that. In later generations, there's gonna be like Tesla hacks, like things you can do, like to
fucking jailbreak your Tesla.
Well, like you know what I mean, like to.
It's a good song, by the way. It'll jailbreak the Tesla.
You know what I mean though, like oranges, you can fake that as a sensor type of thing. You can imagine what we'll figure out more and more, so we can get away with different types of shit.
I looked it up. It was on Quora. The question was, if I'm drunk, get in the passenger seat of my Tesla and set the autopilot to get me home, can I get arrested for DUI? And it's a long answer. It says it kind of depends on the specific laws in your state. But
You
yes.
mean that it's not an immediate yes?
Well, it's
It's
yes,
like, well,
but there's stipulations like there is with everything.
it depends.
But it says yes
For the
It's,
main part, yeah.
For the main part, you can 100% get arrested for that, even if your car's on autopilot. But it's a crazy idea that Elon Musk has for sure. It's pretty cool.
Although you probably wouldn't even get pulled over for drunk driving because it would be the Tesla, so it's not like you're swerving all over the fucking road.
Yeah, I feel like
true.
the only way they would actually know is if the cop like literally looked in while you were like at a stop sign.
Drinking
a
while you're in
quart.
or if you're sitting in your passenger seat, there's no one in the driver's seat driving.
You just
so
like you
what
just
the
pull
fuck?
up and you're in your Tesla.
Then he
Like,
passes by you, there's no one in the driver's
and you're
seat.
just like
You're just naked in the passenger seat.
naked.
Just embarrassed as shit. Speaking of Elon Musk, and we talked
I
about
thought
this
you
a
were
long
gonna
time
say
ago.
speaking of naked.
Yeah, speaking of naked drunk people,
Elon Musk.
Elon
Elon
Musk. He had this thing, and Chrissy and I talked about this for a long time, but he's doing this thing called Neuralink.
Oh, yeah.
So basically,
I'd be down,
it's
fuck it.
it's almost like a chip you can put in the side of your head, and if you like, eventually what they want to do is like you can play video games without actually having a controller. Like you link the Neuralink to the console, and you can essentially just like if you're like doing a right hook in WWE or something, you can just think about it and the character will do it. So that in that sense, it's kind of cool, I guess. It reminds me too much of Black Mirror, and we all know what happens in Black Mirror.
This shit doesn't
But
go
another
right.
thing is like you basically have a built-in Siri, but even beyond that, it's more like a Jarvis, where if you think of a question, like if you in your head, you're like Google, how many square miles is Hawaii? It would just pop up in your head because it just searches for it.
So you would just kind of have like all that knowledge.
Yeah, it'd be like there's no point for school, there's no point for anything because you already know everything. But that's also kind of dangerous because
Motherfuckers
Well, no, I
get
feel like
technology
put to
far
work
as
at age 7.
but
It's like the
that's like
1920s
the
again.
extreme. It would take a long time to get to that point because obviously there's you gotta start somewhere and then it builds up to that eventually. But I just ain't
And I feel
fucking
like
with putting something in my
they'll
head.
make
I'm
laws.
off to the factory.
They'll
I'm sure
definitely
they'll make
make
laws.
laws where like you can't get it until you're a certain age, like 18.
I'm sure
or
they're
like,
21 or
yeah,
something. But I don't know.
Because that's messed.
I made a promise to myself that I'm never gonna put anything.
No, that's ridiculous.
surgical like that.
That's ridiculous.
I would.
Why?
Why? Yeah, why?
That's sick, man. I mean,
But
I'm
what
gonna
about-
die one day anyway, so it's like if I die on the operating
No
table,
disrespect
I guess I
to-
died. I'll take the risk.
No disrespect to the boy Elon
Somebody
Musk.
wants to
but-
hack my brain, go for it. There's not a lot in there anyway.
It's just
fuck.
dangerous because then it's like, what if the main server that's controlling all this shit?
But we all become like robots and start killing everybody. Just
Yeah,
like,
that's-
or what if like
that's the main
there's like
concern,
a,
guns cut out of my
this would
hand.
be like a evil villain movie, but in my head it thinks of like, what if they want to take control of these Neuralinks that are in your head, and then they can just control
I will.
everybody that has a chip in their head.
100% become a
make
part of the
their own
robot army.
Just no questions asked. Like if today Elon Musk walks in, it's like, can I take over your body?
Well, I want to let him take over my body. He'd have to like persuade me. He'd be like, "Oh no, we're not gonna take over your
I'll
body."
give your family
$10 million.
So yeah. What if he's like, if you donate yourself, I'll give your family $25 million.
25 million. This man is a billionaire. I'm not taking anything less than 250 million. The fuck
respect
outta
that.
here,
businessman.
So
Yeah,
if he walks in,
respect.
250 million to your family to give yourself, and you as you know it won't be the same.
Yeah, I'm in.
Why?
Because my mom can buy a house, a car, all kinds of shit. She can pay off all her debts.
That's
I don't
like
give a fuck.
generational wealth. Like
That's true.
well, I guess the name is to live on through Tara.
Yeah, probably. Well, she doesn't have the same last name, but yeah.
Yeah, so if you give yourself up, the Warren name is over.
Well, it's not like they're just gonna take me and just like I'll still be the same. I'll just have a little chip in there, and I'll be
No,
able to-
but it's like you
Won't be able to
the
reproduce.
no, it's not as simple as that. In my
No, see if he
made-up
wants, if he
world.
comes to me and he's like, "Yo, you want to be a part of an AI army?" I'm like, "Nah." But if he's like, "You want a chip in your brain to where you can Google shit in 0.5 seconds?" Yeah.
Well, there's that, but I mean, like, basically, you sign a contract where it's like your life, you're basically owned by Elon Musk or whatever company is doing this shit, whichever company started to do all this. You give yourself and your whole being to Elon Musk.
Okay, see, you make it sound like he's gonna lock me up in his basement type shit, but it's like, what do you mean? My whole being
So,
is Elon
if
Musk. Like
he's
every
like-
thought I ever
you basically
had, he's
act
got
like-
in a fucking hard drive somewhere.
Yeah, basically.
Oh yeah, I could fuck with that.
God damn.
I feel
I
like-
just don't have that much trust.
Yeah, I can't fuck with that much. I've seen too many bad sci-fi movies to know what that's about. But the thing is what also is like kind of creepy is like, what about he just starts implanting thoughts in your head?
Yeah.
Like he just starts making you think
Or
like
like
that you believe in this shit.
That episode of Rick and Morty where he's like, if you're thinking any spider thoughts, ignore them.
yeah.
Exactly.
So, it's one of those things where it's like he can plant ideas or emotions, or like you can be, I don't know.
I'd be
I feel
fucking
like
sick. I'd be
they
like
could
the
just run that
Terminator.
shit. God, but the Terminator's scary as
You would
shit.
kill us.
Yeah, you'd kill us.
Yeah, but I'd be the Terminator.
Yeah, but I'd be the
Okay.
Terminator. He
So-
makes a good point.
And $250
Okay, but like
million.
T1 or T2?
T2.
T2. That's my boy. That's my boy.
Okay,
All right.
respect.
How long have we been going?
46 minutes.
Hey!
Oh shit! I did not think it
We're
was.
good.
We're good.
We're
at
getting
this.
good at
Wrap her
this.
up, yeah.
We're getting good at talking.
We should talk about the shoots that we are. We talked about the short film, but I do think we should talk about like videos that we're gonna want to do in 2020 because this is.
Well,
Oh yeah, this is the last. This is gonna be the last podcast of
2019, yeah.
Holy
2019.
crap.
So I think we should talk about what we want to do in 2020 because we keep talking about 2020 is gonna be our year. What are we gonna do?
What are we going to
that's
do to make it our year? Fuck yeah, buddy. Hit that.
I'm definitely going to try and learn a little bit more about editing so we can get that as a second resource type of thing.
Hell yeah. I want to find in 2020, we should just do goals. Each say a goal. So you said your goal.
Yeah,
I want us to have an
New
office
Year's
space, like a
resolution.
legitimate office space in 2020 at some point.
I could fuck with that. Cass?
I don't know. I would like to. I don't know. Fuck.
What do you?
Put you on
What's
the
your
spot.
aspirations for us?
What do you want
I
for
don't
Studio 55 in
Studio
2020?
55 in 2020?
Yeah, what do you want us to reach? What goal do you want us to reach in 2020?
Fucking film festival. I want to win a
Ooh,
fucking
ooh,
film
that's a good
festival.
one.
That's actually a really good one, bro.
Maybe this one that we're working on right now.
You want to win a film festival?
Let's throw it Sundance.
We should. Yeah, we should.
Although, if we're going to win a film festival, we got to put work into it because you got motherfuckers out there with fucking Reds,
Yeah.
$30,000
Well, you
budgets.
saw that, like, that film competition that Christian and them did. It's like it's crazy.
Dude,
like the
people
number
put
1
in
and 2,
fucking
like
work.
that was like movie
Yeah,
type
that was,
shit.
like-
Well, there's
Good
also
shit,
smaller
man.
film festivals too that we can do.
Yeah, but even then, it's like, well, I guess you
People
you
are
never
fucking
underestimate
creative
people.
nowadays.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we'd have to be really good.
Stupid.
But I guess that's the whole point. Is that our main goal one day is to become an actual studio.
Yeah,
So it's like, how are we gonna do that if we never actually make any shit that's actually good? So
exactly. I think this is a shared idea. We all try to plan, getting more business shoots. Actually, starting doing stuff for more actual businesses and stuff like that. Getting the name out there professionally, and stuff like that.
yeah,
Like, I think Tuesday or when the podcast comes out, so I guess today, it would be, we're going to try and go talk to some businesses, see what they're all about, see if we can do any videos for them at a decent price or something like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, they just sign a contract for a certain amount of time, and we'll do as many videos for them as they want, and it'd be sick.
Also, we talked about this in the first episode, but it's something that a little bit updated. The big project we were talking about kind of in the first episode, which is the show we're going to be working on kind of.
No, that was the second episode, I thought.
Second episode. Was it?
I don't know. Either way, we talked about
Either
it.
way, that has been updated. We are still planning. We're still working on that. Working on with another studio actually to try and we're gonna start maybe working on a TV show possibly. We're meeting with the man on actually the same day.
Yeah.
31st. So
Although we should say TV show very lightly.
Very
it's still,
lightly.
it's very indie.
it's on
not
YouTube
an
and all
actual
that. Yeah,
network, but-
it's not like huge, but it is something, and I'm really proud that we were able to get this opportunity to even be like talked to about it. You know,
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
even with our infancy that we are still in.
But yeah, I feel like we've gone for quite a bit of
We're at
time.
50
We should.
minutes now, yeah.
People are done. People are sick of listening to us. We should wrap this shit up.
Yeah, probably. All right, outro.
Outro.
Forget it again.
Well, yeah, for a second there. All right, we have been Studio 55. We'll continue to be Studio 55, and you continue to be you. Have a great day. Peace and love.
Mwah.
Mwah.
Later.